This is Brandon Reisinger coming to you with your Chairman's Report, 2024 Shutdown Edition. For starters, as you all know, we're going to have the second week down for shutdown this year, so we're going to have 2 weeks. That second week is going to be a layoff. The company can only have you use 1 week of vacation for shutdown. Also, they had already notified April 1st of what that week was, so the company cannot force you to use your vacation time unless you choose to do so for that second week. The company will be opening an e-file for unemployment for all employees. If you end up working that second week, if you get scheduled that second week at any point, you do not need to request your unemployment. You'll get paid for whatever hours you work, and then short work week if it's not a full week. If you do not work based on that e-file, you're going to need to request your payment on Sunday, July 14th, which is the Sunday before we return to work. Now, obviously, you've got a few days after that you could claim as well, but that will be the soonest that we can request payment for that week. For the TFT only, the company will be e-filing for you for the first week as well. You're going to want to request that payment on Sunday, July 7th. If you're a new employee here and you've never filed through Ford before, when they e-file, our claims are weekly, not bi-weekly, so you'll need to request on both weeks on that Sunday. If you have not set up your ID.me account yet with the unemployment office, I suggest going in there and doing that before you need to request. There's not a whole lot to it, but if you do run into some hiccups, that'll give you some time to get it straightened out, and it's usually easier to get a hold of them if you have to do anything to get it going through the week than it is on the weekend. In order to set that up, you'll go to the website, which is the uiclaims.ky.gov. There's going to be a link there to log in with ID.me, and if you've never done it before, it's going to walk you through the steps to set up your account. I would like I say again, I would try and get that done beforehand so that come Sunday, all you have to do is go in there and request your payment. Unless you are scheduled to work next week, the 4th of July holiday will automatically convert to a personal day. That's for everybody. That's for all of the full-time employees that are on vacation, as well as TFTs that are laid off and drawing unemployment. If you've got your 90 days in prior to 4th of July, that's going to convert to a holiday for you as well, or convert to a personal day for you as well. The vacation time, I do want to hit on that. That no longer pays out a week early. I know back in the day we would kind of get 2 checks going into shutdown. That has been changed over to where it pays out normal, like a normal paycheck. So your 40 hours of vacation, which is for next week, it will pay out, it will deposit, and it will post online the following week just like a normal check would. No, there's been a lot of questions. There was notifications that went out yesterday. 40 TFTs are going to be going to KTP after shutdown. They've been notified to report over there on July 8th. That is the lowest 40 by seniority. There is no method for us to survey either through the TFTs or the full-time people. And I want to explain why. That is not a full-time opportunity. In order for us to do like we did a few years ago where we surveyed people to go to KTP, we asked high, forced low, there has to be 2 situations that need to occur. Number 1, LAP has to have a surplus of full-time employees, which we do not. Number 2, KTP has to have a need for full-time employees, which they do not. I know we've talked about both plants putting in the request to convert our TFTs, but at this time, none of that has been approved for either plant. Neither one of us have a full-time need at our facilities. So these folks, and I've seen a lot of the Facebook posts saying they're going over there to get converted to full-time. That's not the case. They are being surveyed and told that they're going permanently to KTP. Permanently to KTP means that they will not be coming back to LAP. It does not necessarily mean they are going over there to be a permanent full-time employee. I'm not saying that they will never get hired. I'm saying they're not going over there for the purpose of being hired full-time. What's happening is we are laying off an excess of 40 TFTs at LAP. KTP still has a class of TFTs to bring in. Our 40 are going to be going in with them. So they are leaving LAP as a TFT and going to KTP as a TFT. That's the reason that our full-time people do not have the opportunity at this. That is the reason that they aren't surveying them to see if anybody wants to go over there. Also, you know, I've had some questions. What if one TFT doesn't want to go and another one does? We've already had conversations with the National Forward Department and our JSP team. The language is crystal clear. There's nothing that we can do with that. There's not something where I can make requests to change who I send, and there's not anything where KTP can make a request as far as who they get. The language lays it out. We are laying off the lowest 40 TFTs, and that is who will go to KTP. There is no method to change that. So hopefully that answers as many questions as I can as far as the TFTs going to KTP. I wish that there was a method to be able to get people that live on that end of town and it's a 5-minute drive to work. I'd love for you to be able to get the opportunity to get over there. The people that live 5 minutes from LAP and don't want to go to KTP, I wish there was a method for me to be able to keep you here. It's just not there. The language doesn't support it, and there's nothing that I can do to change it. We've hit on everything with the TFTs. We've hit on everything with Shutdown. I believe that's all that I've got for this week. I just wanted to clarify a lot of the stuff that we're getting hit with question-wise here lately. Again, if you are working during Shutdown, if you're working the first week, your vacation time will be banked. And the holiday will pay out as a holiday unless you work that day. If you are working the second week, then there will be no need to request unemployment. Even if you just work one day that week, it's going to generate short work week and you will not need to request a check. So hopefully that clarifies everything, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.